Ayurveda, diabetes is described under the chapter of prameha. And there is description of vatas prameh, and then there is description of kafach, pittach or amach prameh. Just to put it or convert it into very simple language, vata is air element, and when that increases in the body, like in our atmosphere, when the air increases, everything dries up. So this is typically type 1 diabetes, where pancreatic secretions are dried up. Okay. And the person looks very thin normally, and also finally the kidneys dry up and everything is, drying up as a consequence of this excess vata, which is highly degenerative in nature.
I see.
The second one which Ayurveda describes, which is madhu prameh from kafach, pittach or amach. Now kapha, pitta and ama are kind of mucus, just to put it in very simple language. And ama is particularly a toxic mucus. And so this mucus, anywhere when it is clogging any system, it creates a block. And that block is causing insulin resistance, and it doesn't allow our own body to use insulin in a right manner. So this is a blockage type of diabetes, and in Ayurveda the description of this person is that that person looks obese, has metabolic syndrome. So his metabolism is extremely slow. Even a little wrong food will gain the weight very quickly, and finally, there are problems with the circulation blockage and different things. So everything is described in that direction. So this is really matching with type 2 diabetes. So that's how Ayurveda looks at it.
I see. From your talk, it also appears that it is still undecided if prameha is diabetes at all.
Well, prameha, there are many kinds, but madhu prameh,
that is diabetes.
That is diabetes.
Oh, I see. So there could be various other kinds of mucus related or...
Yeah, prameha, there are many. Prameha basically is the whole section of illness is connected with the urinary functions basically. And so madhu prameh means sugar in urine.
Oh, I see.
That's the meaning of madhu prameh.
Doctor, first let me come to the good news. And the good news is that the new government at the center has made a lot of emphasis on Ayurvedic treatment these days. Right?
That's great.
That's actually supposed to be exceedingly good, because Ayurveda is also very popular among people.
Yes.
Seeking to find a solution rather than just a treatment.
Yes.
In your opinion, how should government policies change to help Ayurveda, especially in relation to diabetes, because diabetes is becoming an epidemic. People say India is going to be the capital, but from our own studies, we presume that the diabetes, we are already a diabetes capital. Every family has a member with diabetes.
Every family.
So, what kind of policies would actually help deal with this epidemic of diabetes through Ayurveda?
We should follow what Europe has followed, especially Germany. We have clinics there, and in Italy and Netherlands, everywhere. I travel a lot and been traveling for more than 25 years now, and working with medical doctors there. It's very interesting, but there, the government have been focused on promoting among the people constantly. There are very systematically designed promotions happening from the government to make people aware that lifestyle diseases, if you just follow the diet, lifestyle in a right manner, you can manage without taking any medication. So because of that, as a culture, people go for natural ways, because that's how it is promoted. So that awareness is required, that if you follow and rectify the root cause, all other things connected with diabetes also can be prevented.
So you're suggesting that the government of India should learn from Europe to popularize Ayurveda?
Natural things.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
And not Ayurveda only, but awareness among diabetics, particularly because when somebody has a sugar, they will think, okay, I take pill and I can do everything. But truth is that underlying cause, if you don't treat, it will go somewhere else. There is this fountain of disease, like toxins coming, and it's causing something. You suppress it, it will just come out from somewhere else, and it will cause blood pressure, cholesterol, this, that. But if you just work on this underlying thing, then everything can be prevented.
That is actually the basis of Ayurveda in
Absolutely.
relation to everything, isn't it?
Everything,
Including
yes.
skin diseases, they
Everything.
want to check the basic cause of...
Absolutely.
I see. And what according to you in Ayurveda is the basic cause of diabetes?
If we talk about type 2 diabetes, I would say blockage, as I told you, metabolic syndrome. We call it extremely low dhatva agni,
I see.
which means the metabolic system is very, very slow. So whatever we eat is not converted into the right thing as it's required. It becomes like a toxin, and then it stays in the cells, and cells are getting saturated, and they say, no, I don't want anymore, enough. So then the sugar stays in the blood because they have rejected to absorb them again in the body,
Okay.
because they are saturated. So this is exactly what Ayurveda says, that manda dhatva is the cause, and from that resulting into toxic mucus which is blocking and saturating the cells. That's for type 2. But type 1, as I told you, is vata induced, and although Ayurveda has not mentioned this, but from current investigations we know that it is autoimmune most of the times, and I have checked with invariably most of the type 1 people, they have always ANA positive, generally.
Okay.
And I have seen that whenever you give what is prescribed in Ayurveda for ojas, it's very interesting, but I have seen a good result in terms of managing type 1 diabetes.
And what is ojas?
Ojas is a kind of a immune system, immune reserve of the body, we call it. So Ayurveda has a concept that when you eat food, it's first digested, we all know it. Then it's absorbed in the body. It goes everywhere in the tissues in a very systematic, cyclic manner. And finally, the nectar of this whole metabolic thing is preserved in the form of ojas, which is an immune reserve. And this immune reserve is physical immunity, emotional and mental immunity. It's all, emotionally also you become strong. It is your fighting mechanism. So this immune reserve, Ayurveda says that there are para ojas and there is apara ojas. Okay? So in short, para ojas is like a raw material, and when you expose to some infection, from this raw material, the fighters are created, which are in modern days known as antibodies.
Okay.
And these antibodies go and attack this infection and kill it up completely. But sometimes, because of the blockage in the process, what happens that these antibodies actually, the para ojas is released, but the conversion into antibody is not happening. And this para ojas, which is now in the blood, doesn't know what to do, so it attacks whatever is in front of it, whatever comes in the way.
Okay.
Pancreas, sometimes cellular, the joint system or thyroid, any kind of autoimmune can be created because of that.
I see.
So that's what, and on that.
That actually causes type 1. It kills pancreas.
Yes, it is not mentioned in Ayurvedic scriptures. What I am saying is coming from having this Ayushakti clinic for more than 25 years now, that I've seen hundreds and thousands of people, and when we do this line of treatment, the management of type 1 diabetes is very, very effective.
I see.
I would not say it can cure it, but they are able to manage it very well.